All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Osiris. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. We got a hot one today, family. We're gonna be talking about the Washington Monument, Washington Monument, and the hidden worship of the ancient Egyptian god Osiris. We're gonna talk about that. Very powerful. We chasing now. We got to close these gaps and drop these truth bombs today. Before we get started, family, I want to make sure that y'all get on over there to Patreon. We got that fire over there, over 500 exclusive live streams. The poppin'est page on Patreon. That one right behind us. While the elite of America worship ancient Egypt through Freemasonry, you see, we're going to talk about that. That's on Patreon. You need to get over there. The visuals is off the chain. That's right. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Seti DVDs, T-shirts, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry. Also, check out the memberships for both YouTube pages, General Seti, Sarasu Seti. Gain access to exclusive material under the memberships of the page. Also, make sure you get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, share it with your family and friends, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. You will be banned, y'all. Nah, why we got to talk about this today because a lot of our people, in the state of delirious confusion. You're in a state of delirious confusion. We understand that. We got that medicine. We got that truth medicine for you today. You see, what we going, because a lot of people were saying, well, why is y'all tapping into Egypt? Nigga, your lineage don't go back to Egypt. You're a lie, nigga. You're a lie. We got to adjust you. We got to adjust you because that's nothing but a lie. Our bloodline goes straight to the Nile Valley. You see, straight out the Nile Valley. You see, we blacked that up last video, but we'll touch on it again today. But a lot of our people say, well, why are you going back to, why everybody else? See, what they want is biblical compliant Egypt, okay? They want biblical compliant Egypt. They don't want the African Egypt. You see, they don't want the African Egypt. They want the biblical compliant Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Where they could go into the church and feel good. It ain't that they don't want Egypt. They want biblical compliant Egypt. That's exactly what they want. Let me tap in. Yeah. That's what they want. You see, so because we got too many of our peoples out here that's fleeing from us today. They want to attack Pan-Africanism. They want to attack Africa, but they want to go sit up in the church every day and don't want to talk about how Moses, the greatest prophet, and the majority, and we talked about the majority of Black Americans being Christians. We did do that. And the majority of foundational Black Americans are Christians. The majority are Christians. You see what I'm saying? So, they want to delineate from Africa and African history, but they want to keep a Jewish Messiah from Bethlehem. They want to read that the dominant religion is from over with Moses and Elijah and all over there in Israel. You see, and so, don't delineate against that. You just want to delineate against what's African. You want to openly be against what's African. But, they don't say nothing about the nigga going to the church. Don't make no, Jesus is not an FBA. Moses is not an FBA. Elijah, I was about to say Elijah wasn't an FBA. You see, John the Baptist wasn't an FBA. And some of these niggas Catholic. St. Peter wasn't an FBA. You see what I'm saying? But yet and still, y'all make a way because y'all go sit y'all ass up in church every day and you give Reverend Pork Chop all your money, who's really fleecing on the ass. Because when you talk about who's really fleecing, and you want to say, And don't nobody talk about how many people, they talk about people going to Africa, but they don't talk about niggas going to Israel. You see what I'm saying? They don't talk about niggas going there. Some niggas over there stranded right now. They kicking their ass up out of there. Ain't no too many people talking about that. You see what I'm saying? But they go on trips every year. I would like to know. Matter of fact, I got to ask that question. Gotta ask that question. I wonder how many niggas going to goddamn Israel. How many niggas going to Britain and England and France, Paris and shit? Motherfuckers don't say nothing about that. You see, yeah. But they don't break it down by race. They don't break it down by race. But it's people going to Israel. Yeah, so they talking about Israel welcomes a large number of American tourists, often the largest share from any single country. So United States most definitely packing up into to Israel. In years before the Israel-Gaza conflict, hundreds of thousands of United States citizens visited yearly. For example, in one recent year, Israel received nearly 640,000 visitors from the United States from January through July alone. So if I had to roll the dice, I can almost guarantee you that more blacks, because there's more Christians. It's more black Christians than it is in the conscious community. So I bet you any amount of money that more people, black people, are going to the state of Israel than they're going to Egypt. I guarantee you that. You see what I'm saying? They might not be going all over, you know, because that's a continent. You understand what I'm saying? But you talking about going to one, you're talking about black Americans, whether they're going to Egypt or they're going to Israel. Most of them is goddamn Christian base. So I would bet any motherfucker, I bet my bottom dollar that more motherfuckers is going to Israel than they going to Egypt. But you don't hear nothing about that because this is a biblically compliant movement. You understand? Donald Trump is on his Christian crusade. He's trying to bring the Bible back into the government, into schools and shit, and this, that, and the third. This is what he's on a crusade. So today, if you're gonna be unless you're gonna which most of these cats out here, they want to be compliant, Trump compliant, because they ain't going nowhere unless they, because they trying to go through the government, so they're gonna have to be Trump compliant. You see what I'm saying? So being biblically compliant is in a step with that. You feel what I'm saying? That's most definitely in step with that. And so what I'm showing you is this, because they want us to step away from our historical, genetic, cultural connection to ancient Egypt. We went through that now. And so what they're going to do, they're going to try to cut off, well, you ain't from West Africa. We over from you. They're going to cut it all off. We show where many of the most, the most powerful, most famous tribes in West Africa come out of the Nile, Valley, Sudan, Egypt, Ethiopia. It was backed up by linguistics. It was backed up by genetics. It was backed up by archaeology. It was backed up. The migrations from east to west. So we backed that up. So many of what you think are West Africans, yeah, they in West because that's where they located. Just like you in the United States, and you want to deny your motherfucking migration. You see what I'm saying? You want to deny your motherfucking migration, but that's okay. We're gonna adjust you niggas. But you see, so they got to cut off. Hey, well, cut the West African. We can't have, because we're gonna be we're gonna be adjusted. If we accept any part of Africa, we're gonna be adjusted. We want to make sure that these niggas don't believe they come from Egypt. That's not their culture. I done did this shit, man. I done did this research, and I'm gonna do a little more before we get up off of here. You see what I'm saying? To black this up. So what am I doing here is I'm showing you that, quote unquote, the major institutions in America that majority of these niggas identify with, they identify with the Bible, you see, which is Egyptian based. We went over that Moses, the greatest prophet, and we're gonna deal with that, was educated in Egypt, and these niggas tell you to disconnect, but then they go read some shit about Moses and shit. You see what I'm saying? And all of that, and the 10 Commandments and all of that. You see all that fallacy and shit. You go play cartoon characters and shit, Cartoon Network and shit, and Nickelodeon and shit with the Bible. But we show where Moses, the greatest prophet of the Old Testament, Jesus fled into Egypt, saved him, was a refuge for even the Israelites, for refuge for Jacob, Israel. He came and said, out of Egypt I have called my son. And this is the very son, not only Jesus, but also Jacob. You see what I'm saying? Jesus and Jacob. So they had refuge in this black land. You see what I'm saying? Which many of our coming through West Africa come out of East Africa. And some of us, you come directly out the Nile Valley. You see what I'm saying? But our family from West Africa, which, a lot of them were taken from, West Africa to the shores of America. And they was already over there before even the Ma'afa, even before the slave trade. So it don't make no difference because they was already over here any goddamn way. You see what I'm saying? But, a lot of these cats that claim to be all of these things, you see, they're Freemasons, they're Christian. You see what I'm saying? And we're dealing with the fact that Freemasonry honors ancient Egypt. See, these niggas think they slick because many of these niggas are Freemasons, because we're talking about, and I'm directly talking about FBA. I must deal with that. You see what I'm saying? You niggas want to go play fraternity. You niggas want to play Freemason. You niggas want to play Christian, and you want to leave that out, but y'all want to delineate from Africa. You don't want to be to Africa. You see what I'm saying? No, that's not. This is us over here. I don't know what Jesus is, FBA or Moses or fucking the fraternity, because Freemasonry and technically is Egyptian, but that's Solomon and Hiram Abiff and shit. That's shit is out the that's biblical. All that shit is biblical compliant. You niggas want to be biblical compliant. Y'all don't cut into that. Y'all want to take the littlest community, though we got a powerhouse intellect. You see what I'm saying? Powerhouse intellect, smaller, that's how the elite is a lot of time. You see what I'm saying? It don't be a whole group of motherfuckers. So now the masses of ignorant niggas want to rise up on those who got the knowledge. And so y'all, we done jumped on Sarabi's Jesus, Sarabi's Muhammad. We done got on all this white supremacist history. Nah, niggas is saying, no, man, that Pan-Africanism is dead. That nigga ain't no Pan-African. What is you niggas doing? What type of psyop is you niggas running? That's not no damn Pan-African. Hey, if he was Pan-African, he still wouldn't be walking around talking about Jesus and shit. Nigga, you and that nigga are more connected than we is. So what the fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all brothers in Christ and sisters in Christ. We ain't got shit to do with that. We ain't got a motherfucking thing to do with that. Ray in the house. Ray in the house. We in the house. You see, I want y'all to get on over there. I want y'all to make sure y'all get over it and check that the one behind me if y'all want to get that visual, the crazy visual. Why the elite worship ancient Egypt through Freemasonry. The link is at the top of the chat, family. Let's talk about this. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something why niggas sitting here talking about, but they let the Freemasons and shit steal our history and they okay. They ain't hit on them. Let me show y'all something. Can I show y'all something? Let me show y'all something. This is the Masonic temple. Let me get this up here. Let me get this one out. This is the Masonic temple right here in Los Angeles. This is the Masonic temple right there in Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying? Freemasons, you understand? And go there and they do their rituals and ceremonies and all of this. And on the side of this Masonic temple in Los Angeles is all the great, not just the Grand Master and the Master Mace, the Master Architect. So you got the grand, you got the Master Architect. You see the King and the Architect. That they. So you had Hiram Abiff. I believe Hiram was the let me see. It was Hiram. I think Solomon was the Grand Master. You see what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Okay, so Hiram Abiff was the Grand Master. Okay, okay. So Solomon was the royal authority, but Hiram Abiff was the Grand Master. Okay, he was the Grand Master. Hiram Abiff, a fictional character. Okay, so but that's the story. But all that shit has been updated. Because when they went into Egypt, we talking about the true free mate. We talking about it ain't free because you got to go to school. You feel me? You got to pay in dedication and years to get that information. You ain't gonna get shit free. But so you see they got all these different duos. They got the King and they got the Grand Master. Now Hiram Abiff and Solomon. Let me see if I can. I didn't get that particular picture up close. Let me see if I can get that particular. I want y'all to see it. See if I can upload it. Let me see if it'll come straight up. See if I can get it up there real quick so y'all can see. I ain't gonna look long. If I don't see it, I just ain't gonna do it. Let me see. I ain't gonna waste too much time because I'm gonna prove my point anyway. You see, okay, but they got Imhotep. He's at the forefront. That's crazy. That's crazy. They done updated that shit because they know what it is. Let me get back. I ain't gonna chase it down. Now, as you can see, the second one from the beginning. This is the beginning down here. At the towards where my picture is located. You see, that's the beginning. And so the second one from the first, that's Hiram Abiff and Solomon. Okay, but I thought Freemasonry was supposed to be about Hiram Abiff and Solomon. You see, I thought that's how it's supposed to go. You see what I'm saying? But you see, is somebody before Hiram Abiff and Solomon. Now, who could that be? When we look and see who it is, we see that that's Imhotep and Zosia. You see that? That's Imhotep and the great king Zosia. You feel what I'm saying? So that show you right there that they have adjusted Freemasonry because the truth has come out. Ain't no lying no goddamn more. You see, that's the first dynamic duo of all masonry. We talking about real masonry. We're not talking about speculative masonry, but motherfuckers speculate. Speculate means to guess. We ain't got time to speculate and no, we are real Masons and speculative Masons. You see what I'm saying? But we was real Masons first. We didn't have the, and yes, and it was intertwined. But now today, a lot of these cats, the motherfucker, you understand, they can't build a house made out of goddamn popsicle sticks. You see what I'm saying? They couldn't make a goddamn house out of popsicle sticks. And so You know, all of that shit is philosophical. That means when you play house with it. You see what I'm saying? That's when you play house with it and you don't have the necessary skills. And so you take something that's really a real skill and then you break it down philosophically to pretend like you that, but you're not that. You just use the instruments that particular skill would use in real, you know, in a real life situation. You use it philosophically. You know, you square your actions. You squaring, you know, you squaring being on the square to be right, you know, the right angle, to be in righteousness and things of that nature. So you got to be on the square. You feel what I'm saying? And so, but that's philosophical. We was doing that philosophically and for real. So we was both at the same time. And so, yeah, so today we have to, you know, today, you know, we know the truth about our African history, where we are the master architects of the ancient world. And we're not letting that go. But see, these same niggas that's telling you to delineate, they still Freemasons. They still in the church every goddamn day. They ain't delineating from that. You understand what I'm saying? No, they just want biblically compliant ancient Egypt. You see, that's what they want. They want biblically compliant Freemasonry. You know, even the Greeks, we'll talk about the Greeks. They are right with the fraternities and sororities because that give them power right here. And so anything that's American compliant, the fraternities, sororities, the Freemasonry, the Bible, that's American compliant. Under Trump, that's American compliant. That's where they're going with this. You see what I'm saying? So anything, that's why they're getting a lot of the history out of the museum. They whitewashing it down. They don't want nothing like that. You see? And so when we hear people say that's compliant with the MAGA movement, the Trump movement, and you have to understand what is going on today. You see what I'm saying? And the greatest threat to all of that is the Pan-African scholarship. Fuck the flip-flop, fuck the movement. Let's let all that go. We already exposed the fact that there's no movements, no large numbers of people going back to no damn Africa. So stop it. Half you niggas ain't got bus fare to get to work. Half you niggas can't even pay rent right here. You're not going nowhere, nigga. How you gonna get an airplane ticket and you can't even get a bus ticket? Come on, make this shit make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? So y'all trying to, you're fabricating these straw man arguments. And so what we want to make sure we make it understood that our Pan-Africanism is working through our people right here in the United States of America. And that's what the majority of Pan-African has been doing, is working right here, making sure our people know the truth first and foremost, because I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker do for you. If you ain't got the truth, you ain't got shit. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't got the truth, you ain't got shit. So you got to start with the truth, because when you got the truth, you don't need nobody else. You can free your goddamn self. You can free your own. You don't have to depend on nobody. You can free your own ass. You see what I'm saying? That's the reality. And so when we go to the Washington Monument, and I'm gonna tap out of it, here it is, the largest, and I'm gonna come back on this one. The tallest monument in Washington, D.C. It's a lot of Masonic things connected to that Washington Monument. A lot of people don't know that it is the phallus of Osiris. You see what I'm saying? It's when you talk about to resurrect. See, these you can't get this off. You got to come to the lodge, the African lodge, to get this. So you'll understand this. You see what I'm saying? To resurrect is to re-erect. And so Osiris resurrected because we had to go through that because he re-erected. You understand? To be able to pass his holy seed. You understand? Because he was murdered. You understand? Before he could, have an heir, a lineage. You see? And so the gods and goddesses bless Osiris that he could re-erect once again to pass his seed. So people don't understand that Washington Monument is the phallus of Osiris. People don't understand that, but yet it is the tallest monument in Washington, D.C., and no other building can be taller than the Washington Monument. Do you understand that? So here it is, and you got the mightiest symbol in all of right there in the capital of Washington, D.C. And people will tell you don't connect, but the fake Freemason niggas can go in the lodge and fake venerate something that they ain't even connected to. Some of them are black, they can connect to, but yet and still they would rather take the fabricated version of their own story so they could feel good that they could walk next to the master and be with the master, and the so-called elites faking like they somebody that they not. Now that we know the average Joe right here down here can have knowledge himself and beat the shit out of a grand master anywhere in the world, run his ass ragged. Here it is with just the information from the grandmaster teachers that didn't wrote for us and gave their life to provide this information. A young brother and sister right down, you know what I'm saying, right in any urban area right now, beat the shit intellectually, beat the shit out of any grandmaster anywhere on the planet right now. You see, because they live in a fabricated life. So we're not going to let you run us from our culture while you niggas fake, and still a part of Freemasonry, still a part of the church, still a part of all the Greek freak fraternity, sororities. We know what you niggas is up to. We're not going to let you do it. We're exposing you niggas every day. We're exposing you every day. You feel what I'm saying, or what's happening out here. And so, family, if y'all want a deeper visuals of this particular tap into Patreon, man, and I guarantee you, I'm going to blow your motherfucking mind. I'm going to show you all the signs and symbols all around. Motherfucker talking about it. Ain't no fucking ethnogenesis in white supremacy. Yeah. I'm going to show y'all niggas. They talking about this. Yeah. They having an ethnogenesis in white supremacy. I'm going to do a video like call that ethnogenesis in white supremacy. You feel what I'm saying? What up, Ray? You in the house? Good brother. How you feeling out there, Ray? You in the house, good brother? You love being on the battlefield? You say every goddamn day, Ray be like, man, this nigga said he go straight to the battlefield. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Anthony C. Henderson, why you got that question mark in there, man? What you must have had? You say you in pain? You say, what's the matter? What's up, Ray? What you talking about, brother? What's happening with you? Everything good? Yeah, I see you down there. I see the family in the house. Black Power, we gonna come right, Black. Okay. Well, you gonna talk? You talk to me, man. I talk to you. I'm gonna tap in with you on the deeper level. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna tap in with you on the before I message you. I go on Facebook and drop the math in there. Anyway, we'll be black, man. We'll be black. Give me a second, man. We're gonna tighten some shit up. We got to stay on this battlefield, though. We got to stay on this motherfucking battlefield and make sure our people got an option. Yeah. And stay black, family. I'll be right black. Get over there to Patreon, KingSeti.com. Like the video right now. Subscribe. Share this shit. You got to share these damn videos, man. You got to share it to our people so it get out there. Like they share their shit, share this information so that it get to the people. All right, I'll be black in a minute. Black Pop.